This is breaking news from 4 News Now.
Good afternoon for 4 News Now. I'm Rob King. We do have breaking news out of Shoshone County from the Sheriff's Office there. There's a warning to residents living near the areas of Lator Creek, Dudley Road, and Buckner Road that two suspects being pursued by Kootenai County Sheriff's Office are in that area, and residents that live in that area, again, Lator Creek Road and Buckner Road, are advised to stay inside, lock your doors, and close off any garage access. Now, details are very few right now. We don't know who these suspects are or what they might have done. We're working to find that out. But residents, again, in that area of Shoshone County are asked to stay indoors as law enforcement is on scene and currently searching for two suspects. One suspect is confirmed to be wearing a black jacket and blue jeans, and law enforcement as well as KXLY will provide updates as they become available on our social media pages. So be sure to keep an eye out as we work to find out what is going on right now in Shoshone County. In other breaking news out of Moscow this morning, Moscow High School was placed in lockdown around 10 a.m. after authorities there received what they believe is a possible swatting call of an active shooter to Moscow High School. Law enforcement arrived on scene and determined there was no active shooter and no immediate threat. Also, preliminary investigation believes that the call originated from outside of the state of Idaho. So again, that would lead more credit to this being a possible swatting call. And no injuries were reported as well. Classes have since resumed at Moscow High School. Other schools in the district were placed on lockout, meaning students continued their classes, but no one was allowed in and out of campuses. But again, that lockdown at Moscow High School has since been lifted. So it's been a busy morning for us in the newsroom. So let's transition now as we take a look at your first alert forecast. Here's what the week's going to look like. It's going to be mild temperatures, a nice extended streak of sun tomorrow, which will continue today and tomorrow with these above average temperatures, and that's expected to continue till about Tuesday when we could get possible rain. Here's what the rest of the day is going to look like. As you can see, mild temperatures. Thankfully, a whole lot of sun, which is nice to enjoy. Let's take a look at some of the top stories that the 4 News Now team is working on. Starting with legislation, Vanessa Perez is looking at a law making its way through Washington and the Capitol. It's a law that would change penalties for sex offenders. Now, current law says if you are a teen and convicted of a sex crime, you have to register as a sex offender for life. Now, the new law, if passed, would make that so that could change that you don't have to register for life depending on the severity of what you've been convicted of, also depending if you were convicted in juvenile court versus adult court. Vanessa is speaking with the Spokane County Sheriff about that and what kind of impacts we could see locally. And there's a lot of details to unpack there, so Vanessa will have the latest for us in 4 News Now at 5. Also working on Washington legislation, Bronte Sorotsky's looking at a new possible weed tax. Now, the state of Washington's looking to put a higher tax on more potent marijuana, which would be if you have a higher compound of THC in that product, that compound or that product would then have a higher tax. People are for both sides of this, as with most things. Some people want the higher tax, but others are afraid that the higher tax could drive more people to the black market. So Bronte will have the latest on that. Finally, to close us out, Peter Choi is looking at Spokane City Hall, currently in downtown location. It could be moving, possibly to the border of Spokane Valley in the East Sprague location, kind of near Camp Hope. And the hope is that the City Hall moving there could help revitalize businesses and rejuvenate that area as well. But this would come with financial costs, logistics, so Peter Choi is working on that, and he'll have the latest for you there. So that's all we have for today's KXLY Plus Daily Rundown. Thank you for joining us. We'll have all these stories and more coming up in 4 News Now at 5 p.m. But for now, live in the KXLY Plus Digital News Center, Rob King, 4 News Now.